All right, guys. So in the spirit of it being Super Bowl weekend, it's appropriate for me to maybe talk about some football, right? And since this is a political channel, we're going to talk about some woke NFL football commentary, okay? And we know the number one place that we get our woke NFL football political commentary is from Undisputed with Shannon Sharpe, right? Who Skip Bayless calls him Shannon Sharpe. Besides that, you know, this show is supposed to be a sports show, but every time I feel like I turn it on, they're trying to mix politics in it some way, somehow. Okay? And I don't understand how they keep doing this, because the NFL has tried to be not as woke, right? As they usually are. So I told you guys, you know, on my channel multiple times, I like to pay attention to all sides, right? Like I like to pay attention to the progressives, the establishment left, the establishment right, the populist right. I like to pay attention to all sides because that allows me to wade through the BS. Okay, I can decipher who's telling the truth, who's not, who's going through this, who's not. Now, somebody that's super woke like Shannon Sharpe obviously does not do this. He's so caught up in his own woke bubble that he doesn't realize that the same exact things that he's going to be saying in this video are the same exact things that go on the right? His thesis is that Tom Brady gets a pass because he's white, right? He can support Trump and it can be fine and he gets no pushback from it solely because he is white. Not because Tom Brady is a professional about the way he goes about handling his business, in which he doesn't talk about politics or religion in sports. No, that's not it. It's because he's white. That is what Lil Woke Shannon believes. And shout out to John Matrix at Black White Sports, right? Because this topic, I saw it because I was watching their channel. I was like, this is a good topic to talk about, right? Doing Super Bowl week. Let's talk about some woke sports. So I want you guys to hear this conversation between Skip and Shannon. And I am going to pause and give my commentary on the silly stuff that Shannon says. Let's take a listen.
Didn't change my view of Tom. I understood what Tom was for a very, very long time, Skip. He put that hat in there for a reason, letting you know that I support my friend Donald Trump, and no matter what he says, I support him. Skip.
And what's the difference between that and LeBron James wearing a BLM shirt? The difference is that LeBron James wears his BLM shirt out in the open, right? And he doesn't ever get questioned about why he's wearing the shirt, why he supports a group that is, you know, in the streets, destroying cities and black neighborhoods. He never gets questioned about that. However, Tom Brady, who had this hat that he wasn't wearing, he wasn't out in the open with it. It was just tucked in his locker, right? In a spot where you would put a hat. And for whatever reason, America wants to know why Tom Brady supports Donald Trump. That's the real difference that Lil Woke Shannon is missing.
Mark McGuire was not trying to hide the fact that he was taking androstenedione. Skip, was right there front and center in his locker. When you pan to it, you saw all the bottles.
No, but I thought that was a diversion.
That was diversion.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, he was taking...
That's the light stuff.
Yeah, he was
that's
taking that on top of the other stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the hat.
Okay.
I put the hat there. Yeah, I support him, but I support him in another way. Skip, let me ask you a question. And I know people, I was reading a little bit of the article where they tried to make the parallel between Colin Kaepernick and Tom Brady. But I got a better comparison. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, LeBron James says, my friend, Minister Farrakhan. How would America react? You see, blacks have always had to be very, very quiet about who our friends.
Well, I can already tell you right now, LeBron James would get away with it. But I don't think he would come out and support somebody like Farrakhan, because Louis Farrakhan is, you know, he's super pro-black, right? He's super out there about, you know, not coming together with white folks and just being just all about blacks, right? And I don't think that's LeBron, right? I don't think LeBron is on that level of wokeness, right? So I don't think LeBron will actually support somebody like Minister Farrakhan. But even if he did, right? Even if he did, I don't think he would get any backlash from it. I think a lot of people would be like, oh, no, this is LeBron supporting him and it's okay, right? And the reason how I know is because LeBron supports an extremist group already, which is BLM, right? He supports that group and he doesn't get any backlash from it. He gets praise from it, okay? LeBron James is getting a pass because he's coming at it from a perspective of being woke. You get a woke pass. You get woke privilege. LeBron James has woke privilege. Okay? So what Shannon is saying, I get what he's trying to say. That, Louis Farrakhan is he's like a super pro-black, extremist. But at the same time, I don't think even if LeBron supported him, I don't think LeBron would get as much backlash as anybody that's supporting Trump, especially right now.
Friends are. They made President Obama disavow Reverend Wright. Donald Trump staying front and center with.
How many people have had to disavow Trump? How many people have been told that they can't support Trump? How many people have lost their jobs because they support Trump? How many people have just been called white supremacists because they support Trump? Again, it's funny how Shannon is saying this during a time in which Trump supporters are literally, right, to a certain extent, society is like, if you're a Trump supporter, you a bad person, right? That's what they're doing. So, and that tells me that Shannon Sharpe is caught up in his own bubble. He doesn't really understand the political spectrum. He doesn't really care about what the other side thinks. He doesn't care about what people outside of his bubble think and what they're going through. And this is the problem with our politics. Okay, too many people are caught up in their own bubbles. They don't look outside of their bubble and say, I wonder what these people are going through. I wonder what their perspective is. Shannon Sharpe has never ever thought about how bad it is right now to openly support President Trump. That the fact that if you even support the man, you are automatically thrown into the same realm as the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, especially if you're white, right? If you're black, obviously you're a white supremacist sympathizer. If you're Hispanic, then, I don't know what they call you. Somebody Hispanic can tell me what they call you if you support Trump. But I'm just saying, everybody who support Trump is thrown into the basket of deplorables right now, okay?
David Duke, a lot of these radical ministers that says things that are controversial, he doesn't have to, I don't know who they are. All he says, I don't know who they are.
Hasn't Trump been asked 1,000 times to disavow white supremacy? Hasn't he been asked that 1,000 times? Okay, nobody has asked Biden why Richard Spencer supported him in 2020. Nobody's asked Biden that. But for whatever reason, Trump, who denounced white supremacy thousands of times, literally his own video. It's literally a joke. If you say that Trump supports white supremacy, or he hasn't disavowed white supremacy, you're literally not educated, right? Like you have not done any research on this topic. But Trump has done this 1,000 times. And it is also apparent that Shannon Sharpe knows nothing about politics, but all he wants to talk about is politics with Skip. And you don't know anything about politics. Because if you knew anything about politics whatsoever, you would know that the media has asked Trump 1,000 times to disavow white supremacy, to disavow David Duke. And you would know that he did that. Right? But see, he doesn't know because he's not educated. And he wants to talk about things that he's not educated on. And that's what frustrates me about Shannon Sharpe. You want to be a political guy, but you don't want to put in the work to actually have an educated conversation about politics. And then if somebody tells him he needs to stick to sports, he'll be boo-hoo crying playing the race card.
LeBron James can never say, a prominent black athlete can never say, Minister Farrakhan is just my friend. They try to cancel anybody with the just mere mention of Mr. Farrakhan's name.
Wait, I thought the left was all about cancellation. Ain't that what y'all do? Haven't y'all tried to cancel so many people? Right? And not only that, it's funny how Shannon Sharpe is acting like the left is at some type of disadvantage when it comes to cancel culture, when the left and movements like BLM have corporations on their side. Okay? They have corporations on their side. When your movement is backed by corporations who are telling people that if you don't agree with our narrative, we will stop selling your product, right? Or that we don't want to serve a certain customer, or we don't want to put an advertisement on a certain conservative commentator because of their point of view. You're trying to tell me that y'all are at some type of disadvantage when it comes to cancel culture? Now, again, like I said, I pay attention to both sides. Truth be told, there's cancel culture on the left and the right, right? There's cancel culture on both sides. But who has the advantage right now when it comes to cancel culture? Who is most of the money behind right now? The left's cancel culture has way more money behind it right now than the right, because the left has corporate America on their side. They have Wall Street on their side. They have everybody on their side right now, right? So don't sit here and try to have this argument with me about cancel culture, right? About people on the left being canceled. How can you be, who's been canceled on the left? How can you be canceled when corporations are backing your movement? It doesn't make sense.
Because we like Tom Brady.
Although, just a quick point of order. After all LeBron has done for this country,
What has LeBron done for this country? LeBron opened a school that's being paid by local taxpayer dollars. He's not even the one really funding it. Oh, LeBron James has really helped this country. Right? I really don't understand this obsession with LeBron James being some type of civil rights activist. I just don't see it. I think he could be doing a lot more. Okay? Because, I mean, truth be told, if Nike told LeBron that he couldn't be woke anymore, LeBron James would flip just like that. LeBron James would go in a whole different direction. LeBron James is only saying what he's been told to say by Nike. That's it. He's only doing the things he's been told to do by Nike. Everything that LeBron does is in lockstep with what Nike wants. LeBron James is a corporate pawn right now. Okay, so again, these people who claim to be revolutionaries, how can you be, what revolution has been backed by corporations? Somebody tell me. How are you a revolutionary when you're backed by Nike? Okay, I do not understand. You know, Muhammad Ali lost everything. He legitimately lost everything. He lost his ability to make money. Okay, he lost his ability to take care of his family, right? To a means to provide for himself. That's losing everything. That's what we're talking about, being somebody that is a revolutionary in some aspect, right? Okay, when you're willing to lose it all, that's how you're revolutionary. LeBron James is making money off wokeness. LeBron James makes more money off the idea of him having his own school than the money that he's actually put into the school himself, which ain't that much. LeBron's school, which everybody praises, is a tax burden on local citizens, and it's a public school. Everybody that pays for that school doesn't even get to participate in it. But they don't ever tell you that part of the story. And that's not to say LeBron hasn't done some good things. I'm not saying he hasn't. What I'm saying is that I just don't see, for somebody that's damn near worth $1 billion, what has he done that's so revolutionary? What has he lost? Same thing with Colin Kaepernick. What has he done that's so revolutionary? What has he lost? He hasn't lost nothing. If you're a revolutionary, you lose everything. Martin Luther King lost his life. Malcolm X lost his life. Gandhi lost their lives. Muhammad Ali lost his way of actually making money. Real revolutionaries are not billion-dollar athletes. Okay, that's not what revolutionaries are. So I don't understand this obsession with LeBron and how he's changed America. He hasn't done anything. LeBron has never said one controversial thing a day in his life. I'm serious.
Say it.
Well, if anyone could get away with saying that, he could. But go ahead.
He get away with that one, Skip.
Okay.
There are certain things, Skip. We've seen guys that have mentioned, and society have tried to what we kept the cancel culture now.
Yep.
And that's what we are.
That's you, bruh. That's the left. He doesn't even see, this is how much a bubble he's in. He doesn't even understand that the left controls cancel culture right now. The corporations are controlling cancel culture. That's how steep in his bubble he is right now. Again, I pay attention to both sides. I can call it straight. I'm telling you without a doubt. The left has corporations behind them. That's why they control cancel culture. They dominate that shit.
Skip, if we like somebody, we're more forgiving of their actions. We're more forgiving of their words, their deeds. If we don't like you, we will go to heaven and earth. We'll go back 15 years, how long Twitter's been on, and we'll scroll and try to find something that you said 15 years ago. If we don't like, kind of like Tiger. You watched the documentary of Tiger, Skip?
I did. We need to talk about it. We will. Okay.
You see what they did, Skip? Once they got him on the radar, they never let go. They went to heaven and earth because they wanted to bring him down.
Wait, did they not do that with Trump? Every time I look, they keep bringing up Trump with his op-ed that he wrote about the Central Park 5. They keep talking about some business dealings that he had with some renter issues back in the day. They keep trying to connect him to the KKK for some reason. They all do that, right? That happens on both sides, right? You can't tell me how many people. I mean, Josh Allen, right? For the Bills, didn't they find video of him saying the N-word? Ain't that what leftists do? That's the first thing leftists do. They will go and try to find a video of some white athlete saying the N-word to try to expose them. Something they said when they was young and stupid. But see, Shannon think that only happens on one side. When I'm telling you, somebody that pays attention to both sides, that it literally happens to both sides. Both sides do this. But as of right now, the left, because they're backed by the corporations, are at an advantage when it comes to this cancel culture thing. So Brady responded, obviously in the Brady-esque way. So I just want to show you guys his response to this real quick.
Shannon Sharpe said last week that he thinks that you probably would have gotten more criticism for your having the hat in the locker in 2015 for Trump had you been a black athlete, or basically that black athletes aren't given as much room to weigh in on political topics and topics that could be controversial. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are in response to that.
First of all, Brady never weighed in on a political topic. He had a MAGA hat in his locker. He never commented on it. He never said anything. Obviously, his teammates saw him bring it in there. Obviously, they ain't saying anything about it. Nobody cared. It's between him and his teammates, right? If somebody has a problem with it, it's between him and his teammates. He never said anything about it. You guys, the media, made it a big deal. Again, these people are out of touch, man.
I'm not sure how to, respond to, hypothetical questions like that. I hope everyone can, we're in this position like I am to, again, try to be the best I could be every day as an athlete, as a player, as a person in my community, for my team and so forth. So, yeah, I'm not sure what else.
We'll go over to James Palmer.
Thank you.
Brady obviously handled that like a professional. And that's essentially why, if you think he doesn't get as much criticism or he doesn't get as much attention for it, because he doesn't put the attention on him. A lot of these guys, particularly these athletes like LeBron James, they put the attention on them. They put the attention on themselves because they want to make money off of it. They want to be controversial, even though he's not saying anything controversial, because everybody on the left agrees with him and the corporations agree with him. So it's not really even controversial. Okay? So, I just really find it interesting how the media keeps trying to come after Brady for his support of Trump and trying to paint this like false, fake double standard that when it's plain as day, Brady's just not a politically active person, right? Just because you support somebody doesn't mean that you're making a political statement. Brady has not made any political statements. He's just like, oh, that's my friend and that's it. That's my guy. He didn't say anything about Trump's politics. He didn't say anything about his policies. But apparently, that's too much for the left. So, just in the spirit of the Super Bowl, I want to talk about, a kind of sports topic a little bit. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.